I just spent 20 grand on swag. For those who might not know what swag is just another way to say promotional products. So marketing promotional products like branded t-shirts, branded pens, for example. But let's take a quick look at some of the swag that I bought recently.
As you can see here, I have some data sheets. So we print off obviously these for events. They're actually really kind of valuable, honestly, as customers do actually pick them up. So now we have a bunch of socks. Socks are always popular. Generally, you can get them pretty cheap, so $5 to $10 per sock, which is pretty cost effective when giving out at events. Obviously, we have shirts, so Devo branded shirts, the company I work for, have a bunch of those. And a cool item that we actually procured, which is in that box, but I opened another one, is these bottles. Now, these Dojo bottles are an actual brand, but we basically chucked our logo on top of it. And branded it basically Devo, so you obviously still have a Dojo bottle. But these bottles are, what's really awesome about these bottles are the collapsible part of it. Just ignore that table, by the way. It's basically where I shoved everything on. So I'll do a little demonstration here. Basically, as you can see here is travel size, and then if you really want to enlarge it, you just pull off the lid, and so I'm doing this with one hand, but you pull off the lid, and then you basically drag it out, and there you go. You have a full-size bottle which you can take for travel. So we got these because, with post-COVID coming back into motion, a lot of us are looking to, travel not only for work but only for casual sakes, vacation sakes, and so we thought these might be a good addition to, people who are looking to travel for any reason. And we have also another bunch of shirts. So these are two variations of shirts. Shirts can get a bit pricey, so we try to save these for really good prospects at events, and which is why I always prefer using socks, honestly. But yeah, so this is just a bunch of swag, 2 boxes. We have obviously other boxes coming in as well, but we also have a bunch of pens. Pens are obviously a staple of any swag you produce. These pens are actually pretty good. They look really nice. They're metallic looking, pretty nice looking pens. So now we have some books. So these books are basically, what do you want to call them? Books, journals, or whatever. Basically, these, we give it out in events as well. People actually bring these a lot, or actually ask for these because, sometimes they just don't forget to bring something to write on, and you can't always, bring a laptop or tablet out. So always get a bunch of those. And then we printed out some reports as well from our recent study on report. Pretty decent, really good quality there, and then more data sheets, of course. So you should always print data sheets out for events. They're really valuable. People will grab them, especially if they don't know what your product is. And finally, we have stickers, which is obviously awesome. You can go with a bit of, cool designs and stuff. But yeah, so all this swag costs pretty much, I think around 15k. We have another shipment coming in with another 5k, basically bags and stuff, which isn't in this video. Hopefully I'll make it in the next video. But yeah, let's talk about why I create all this swag.
So hopefully that was interesting. So why did I buy so much swag? So in my opinion, there are 2 big reasons why you should be purchasing marketing swag. Reason number 1 is the expectation to reciprocate those the swag that's given to you. So just to give a bit of a summary on this, basically, if you think about it, if you got a free piece of swag, so for example, a free t-shirt, or even a free, bottle at an event, the kind of expectation is to at least have a conversation with the rep at the booth, for example. If you walk away, you feel kind of guilty. I know some people do it anyway, but you feel a bit of guilt doing this. So a lot of people would just come up and have a chat with you, even if it's just a little hello. But it's all psychology playing behind this. You get a free item and you basically get a conversation, and sometimes that conversation will lead to a deal because you get a piece of information that's valuable for them. For example, there's a tender that just went out, or there's some kind of, process going on where, they're looking for a product that you're selling. Now, this is pretty common in the, marketing sales world, and which is why swag is used to kind of entice that. Some other concepts include swag boxes, giving like, free boxes of swag with all this goodies in it. And the caveat is you have to have a chat with the sales rep. And unfortunately, it's kind of very a transactional type of business, especially in the tech world where I work in, but it's pretty much applicable in any industry, to be honest. So one of the big reasons is to kind of get that reciprocation of, giving out swag. So you get something in return, basically, which is usually a conversation with the sales team. Reason number 2 is brand awareness. Now, brand awareness might not seem that important to you, especially in a B2C context where giving one shirt to one person is probably not the best return on investment. However, In a B2B context where you have limited amount of buyers and limited amount of people you need to target, giving them a shirt and making them remember who you are is essential. Especially in, for example, in Australia, where there isn't actually that much IT buyers or security buyers in my space, giving them a piece of swag that indicates that we are who we are, and them knowing, okay, so this company exists, is actually really important. Because when they go out to tender, or when they go out to, they need a solution market, usually they will, get approached by sellers and stuff, but usually they'll also go out to the market and go, okay, who's ready to sell? And normally they'll go to, the players that, are already in market that they know of. But if they get a piece of swag and they remember who we are, then they'll know to come to us, which is huge, especially if you're a company that's looking to grow in a region. If you're not like a huge, really big company like Google, for example, and you're a lesser known player, being able to keep that brand awareness is important. Also, for those big companies, it's also important, which is why they constantly give out free swag, or they always have banners on TV or banners, billboards and stuff, because it's all brand. Brand is super important. Brand helps contribute to creating deals, making deals, selling stuff. It's very hard to attribute, but it's really important. And swag is a great way for people to remember you, especially if your product's really, really good. So keep that in mind if you give out swag. Create some premium products. Don't try to be too cheap with it. Put a bit of money into it so at least they remember the product. You don't want them to remember how crap your product is. So that's just something to keep in mind. And that's it. Hopefully a short enough video why I spent 20 grand on swag. It might not seem much that I'm doing some brand and enticing people to talk to us, but it's actually huge. To give some perspective, one deal for us could mean hundreds of thousands, for millions. A lot of IT companies, a lot of financial companies, a lot of companies in really, really high kind of ticket space areas will do this, because a $50 shirt, if it helps bring in $100,000+ deal, that is pretty worth it. Even though there are obviously other marketing touch points, like, for example, ads and even just, events, even salespeople calling them. Everything is a touch point, and that all adds up together to create that deal. And that's the whole concept of multi-touch attribution, which I can bring into a next video, because this video is about swag and, how swaggy you can look with your swag. I'm actually wearing a Devo shirt right now, which I created. So yeah, hopefully this video is interesting. Let me know in the comments what else you want to see, and I'll see you in the next video.